question, we always have a big question, big essential question. The one for today is, what strategies / tips can help prepare for the EOC? You're going to help me with that. In the chat right there, what are some strategies or tips that can help you prepare while working through this for the EOC? I'm going to help you out with the first one. You know, we have a big three, right? A big three that we always write on almost every quiz review or test review. So I should see people in their chat right now coming up with the second two tips and tricks to help prepare, right, for big tests. Number one, I have read all. You know what that means. Read the whole question, all of the question, and figure out what they want and what they're asking. Okay, that's very important. And right now I have a chat. Oh, somebody said it. Number two, yes. What do I already know that can help me solve this topic? Is it a formula? What kind of method did Miss Mighty show me? Right? Did I already know? Okay. And I'm waiting for number three. Anybody have number three? What it starts with a C? Yes. Check. Answers. So at the top of your paper, please write these three. And we're going to come back to this big essential question right here and figure out what other tips. It's not just three, it's other ones that can help prepare. We can come back to that later. Right out the gate, you should know these formulas, right? Distance, midpoint. Go ahead and write those down. If you were even more creative, you would have wrote them down before you even started this session, right? Okay, so a lot of you like when I write the distance formula, so let me go ahead and write that out. You should have it on your paper. If you don't have it already, pause the video, and write it. Okay, so therefore, let's do distance formula. This is what you all like me to do, right? I draw the house. There's the house, right? I draw with the nose right there. There's an eye. There's an eye, right? Eyelash, eye pupil. And who goes first? Your X's go first, right here. X2, X1, Y2, Y1. But you didn't need me for that because you already wrote it. And that's definitely an X right there. Okay, and you should have midpoint formula. You add the X's, divide by 2, add the Y's, same thing too. Okay, that's just some recall right there. We didn't do any work yet. But if I read number one, please don't tell me you jumped right here and did not read this part in the black, the bolding. Of course you did. Go back and read this. Okay. On the EOC, there's going to be questions and it's going to have a lot of words. You're going to have to read those words to figure out what you need to do before you even read the part with the actual coordinates or numbers, okay? So we're going to be using distance formula or the midpoint formula probably for the first few questions. Alright? So they want to know the distance between these 2 points. Alright. What do they want? Okay, they want to know the distance between these 2 points. Look. Right here, they have a nice little area right here for the distance and for the midpoint. So let's do distance first. If I'm going to find the distance, let's use that formula, right? Yes. So let's set it up. I'm not going to write the actual formula because it's up there for you to reference. Okay. So go ahead and draw the house. If you want to, you can label up here X1 right here. So X2, Y1, Y2. Right? Let's do that. Fill in the blank. Again, you can work ahead of me and check your work. That's really what I want you to do. But let's go ahead and write what we know. We know my X1 is right there. My X2 is right there. So let's write that. -1 minus 3 squared. Look at that. It should be flowing. My Y2 right there. Put a little square. Very good. Go ahead and condense that on down. -1 minus 3. This is going to be what? A -4. I'm going to write each step because I want to make sure I do not lose anybody. And we have people that are going to watch this at home recorded, right? I have people doing it with me now, and I have people who are going to watch it. So I got to make sure that everyone knows exactly what we're doing. How did I get that? Oh, that's simple. 10 minus 4. I can go ahead and condense that down. Negative 4 squared. You know it. Look at all that good stuff. Look at that. So it does not specify if they want a decimal to nearest tenth. Let's just do nearest tenth because that's what I like to do in class mostly. Okay, so that's going to be the distance for length AB. So looks good, right? Looks good. But did I do all 3 of the steps up here? I read the problem. I figured out what they're asking. Check. I figured out what I'm going to use for that specific question. Check. I need to check the answer. And if you remember in class, usually when they give you coordinates, it's one of 2 things, right? Distance from, or what's the other one? It starts with P. I got this little coordinate plane right here. Why do you think I brought this coordinate plane out? Go ahead and type in the chat. What do you think I'm going to use this little coordinate plane to check my answer? Really quick. Yes, Pythagorean theorem. I can check my answer that way, right? Really good. You know how to plot points, so we go ahead and plot points. Go just off to the side. You have paper like this. Pull that out and do it really quick. You got to work quick, okay? Go ahead and plot those points. Let's see. You get 1, 2, 3. 3, 4. That's gonna be A. And let's do the other one. It stops at 8. Mine does. I'm just gonna do this and put that right there for 10. Okay. Go ahead and draw a triangle, and you're gonna count. And that's B. We're gonna count. This is 1, 2, 3. That's 4. That is 6. If you look, oh, look right here. See that? And what do you do for Pythagorean theorem? If that is my hypotenuse, that's C. 4 squared plus 6 squared equals C squared. I get all down there. This may look a lot similar like this. Ooh, look. 4 squared, that's 16. 6 squared is 36. It's going to be the same answer. That's going to be 52. Square root of 52 is approximately 7.2 to the nearest 10. So we just checked our answer. Very good. If you need that again, I'm sorry. Kind of moved that kind of quick. Pause it to get that. Perfect. Now, we have to do the second part of the problem, which is the midpoint. Let's find the midpoint. We have some shortcuts here, but it also depends on what they give us. They give us the endpoints. That means I'm going to have a segment here. Look, here's A. Here's B. They give us A and B. We need to find M. Okay. Yes, this time there is a formula, but sometimes they give you the midpoint and they want the other endpoint. Sometimes they give you these two. They want this guy, these two, that guy. Remember? Yes. It's all coming back. So let's do midpoint formula real quick with these 2 points. It's really easy. I don't really have to break that down that much, right? Add the x's. We already talked about what the x's were, right? So I have, what, 3 and negative 1. Go ahead and add those. And add the y's. 4 plus 10. Right? So that's what, 2 over 2 and 14 over 2. We should have a coordinate set right now. What's that coordinate set? Yes. Make sure you type a comma when you type it in the chat at least. I'll put in 17, but it is putting the comma 7. Alright. Now, it is a way for you to check that answer as well. Remember that shortcut for if they give you a midpoint? So if this point right here is 3, 4, and this was over here is negative 1, 10. Remember how you look for that pattern? So it should be a nice pattern going from 3 to negative 1. So if I go from 3 as a blank to negative 1, right here, I'm going down by 2 to get 1. Going down by 2, get negative 1. Right here, 4, blank, 10. For this one, I am going up by 3. See that? That makes that 7. So what I just showed you right there is the shortcut of if they've given us the midpoint and another endpoint, we can figure out what the other endpoint is. Does that make sense? I might have lost a couple people there. We're going to have another lesson tomorrow and go further with more ways and examples if I do the endpoints and midpoints, okay? So I don't want to make sure I don't lose anybody there. Okay, let's move down to number 2. Alright. Uh-oh. What's different about this one than the one up there? Go ahead and write in chat real quick. What's different about this problem up here and this one? Someone's already said, thank you, Katie. Okay, this problem already has the segment on the coordinate plane. We don't have the visible coordinates written as numbers, but they're there. They're there. But real quick, when you see a coordinate plane with that line, should you use distance formula or Pythagorean theorem? Which one should you use? Yes, but in order to do Pythagorean theorem, I have to draw a right triangle, right? There's the right triangle. Let's go ahead and figure out which one is the hypotenuse. We need to find the hypotenuse. We need to find it. How can I find it? I kind of did a little preview of it the last question, right? We just did it on this card. This should all be coming back. Please work ahead of me. Make sure you notate any questions you have. Okay, let's go ahead and count each side. We got a big 9 and a 5. Next step. So from there, you can pause it. See if you can get to what the length is without my help. Okay, those of you at home right now, do we have a length? It may be a decimal, may not. I see 10.3. Is that correct? Let's see. So that becomes what? 25. What? 81. You agree? If you don't agree, type stop. Like, no! Okay. What I do here is take the square root of both sides. I have a 5. No, sorry. I don't know what I was just doing right there. Sorry. 25 plus 81. That's 106. Nice. And that's approximately 10.3. Very good. 10.3 goes over there. And you can double check it doing the distance formula, which looks exactly like that, correct? For the sake of my time and your time right now, we have to go ahead and do the midpoint. So, midpoint formula, up there I just used the coordinates. I don't have the coordinates, but yes I do. I just have to write them down, right? Let's write what these coordinates are. Over 2, so I got 2, 5, that's one coordinate. So Q is 2, 5. What is P? P is -3, -4. Right, okay. So find the midpoint formula right then and there. Do that without me, please. Midpoint formula, I need 2 coordinates right here for me. If you're at home, do it right now. Those of you who are watching this later, pause it and go ahead and do the midpoint, and we're going to check your answers. Bye bye.